Hey, I'm Bree, and this is Sadie, the garden puppy. Welcome to my garden. I'm here in the Piedmont of North Carolina, Zone 8A. Today, I'm going to take you with me on a reflection of the past week or so to show you how I've welcomed this in-between phase of the seasons that we have recently entered into. February 4th was the official midway point between winter and spring this year, the solstice on December 21st, and the upcoming equinox on March 19th. This transition time, this in-between that we are in, can be a little unsettling though. There are fluctuations more in weather, there's ups and downs, there's maybe some warmer days and some dips again. Again, it's that give and take between spring and winter. It's like a tug of war a little bit. I know especially for us in March, winter comes back with a vengeance. So you just have to figure out how to feel grounded, even though there is this liminal space and maybe a feeling of waiting. One thing we can notice and begin to rely upon here in the Northern Hemisphere are extended daylight hours and later sunsets. I know this is so beneficial for many people, wildlife, and the plants in our garden. How this time feels for me specifically is full of potential. And with that comes a really sweet sense of hope. There's so much coming to life right now just below the surface, kind of waiting and ready to burst forth when the time is right, as the time is right. So it's a time of anticipation and preparation. I'll show you some simple and intentional ways I aligned with this energy, how to take cues from nature during this time of year, and what that means for the garden right now. So let's go. Sadie and I went on a really lovely hike at a nearby lake, and it just felt like it embodied the energy and qualities of this time. It was really peaceful. There was still a lot of stillness in the air, but also some fresh energy, some sense of excitement. And I was really able to ground into the present through my senses, notice signs from nature that usher in this time of year. I heard chorus frogs calling, enjoyed the rustling of beech tree leaves. I noticed buds on other trees, and we really appreciated the wind. Sadie especially loves the breeze blowing in her ears. But this is a characteristic of these more transitional, unsettled seasons. Have you felt more of that movement around outside of you, maybe with the breeze or the wind? Getting outside is such a great way to reconnect and to start to get more movement in, maybe from a season that can be a little more sedentary, or, the weather might keep us inside more. But we can start during this time to bring in a little more activity, energy, and inspiration over the coming weeks. Where and how can you feel like you are slowly reawakening? Do you have a favorite spot outside that you can go, maybe just pause and observe nature, sit and watch? Or is there a hike or somewhere that you can walk around and be more immersed in the natural world? How can you align deeper with the gradual reemergence of life around you? What senses can you engage to tune in? One of my favorite signs of midwinter. Thanks, Sadie. One of my favorite signs of midwinter is dandelion. It's one of the very first harbingers of spring and pollen sources for the bees. I just love dandelions so much, probably a lot because it gets such a bad and unnecessary rap. Take that, ridiculous cultural norms and grass lawns. Dandelions are incredibly nutritious and full of helpful minerals, and they are considered a medicinal plant. You can even work with all parts, roots, leaves, and flowers for many health benefits. Stay tuned for another video on all of that soon. Anyway, I mostly love dandelions so much because of what they represent. They are a symbol of tenacity, strong will, and resilience, as well as this bright softness. In alignment with this time, I also did a lot of cozy baking and cooking. Here I am using the last of our homegrown sweet potatoes from last year. Then a soup seemed very fitting, especially since soup season will be over sooner than we know it here, as it gets hot outside very quickly. I made a really easy vegetable soup that required little preparation of ingredients, and it hit the spot. Having the grilled cheese on the side also helped. A perfect homage to winter. One thing I do for every seasonal observance like this time of year is bake. At this time, I needed some more easy breakfast options that I could freeze. So I made a new batch of focaccia, something I always have on hand, and reheats very well and is never not delicious. I also tried a new recipe of apple muffins, considered slightly healthier, with the addition of maple syrup instead of sugar and coconut oil instead of things like canola oil. I will link that recipe below. I highly recommend it. They made my house smell so good, and they're incredibly delicious. I encourage you over the next few days or more to take time and pause. How can you align with all of this? Reflect on the past 6 weeks or so and the ones to come. What do you want to take with you? And what do you want to leave behind? Are there intentions or seeds of renewal that you want to sow? But speaking of sowing seeds, now is a great time to do so, and not just metaphorically. Here I am taking my broccoli, onions, and Romanesco starts out to get hardened off for a week or two before transplanting them into the ground here. These were started on January 1st, my new New Year's tradition, and I am already looking forward to another delicious broccoli bounty in April. This is when things really start to kick off for growing season. That momentum is just in the air, and it's so exciting. In the coming weeks, I will direct sow carrots, radish, lettuce, and peas. And I know this might not be the case for cooler climates, but it's still an exciting time to plan and prepare for your spring garden. Finalize what you want to grow, get any seeds you still need, or budget to purchase transplants. That's all great. Just plant something. There's no shame in that. You can clean and organize your supplies. And, of course, just keep daydreaming about getting out in the garden soon. But I need to take a minute and share this absolutely beautiful, classic spring teaser of a late winter day in North Carolina. So usually this happens in February more. It's late January now. It is Carolina blue, clear skies, breezy, windy probably is more accurate. 65, sunny, just absolutely gorgeous. Every year this happens when I feel like I am handling winter just fine and can tough it out. And then we get this taste of spring, and I'm just like, bring it on now. No more winter. Oh well. Enjoying it while we can. As excited as I got for real spring to come, I have learned to appreciate and enjoy our mild winters here for garden projects, as I can actually comfortably do physical labor outside and do not have to plan around incredibly oppressive heat and humidity. A little chill in there has been so helpful for this. I took the opportunity to turn over some beds that were planted in the fall with brassicas, preparing them for those new transplants and the spring garden in general. Since December, I have also been going heavy on some other big projects like mulching and slightly more exciting ventures that I will no doubt be showing you in more videos soon to come. I find this is another wonderful way to embrace rather than resist a season, especially like winter. So I would love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments, what are you up to these days? What does this time of year mean to you? How are you maybe welcoming it and embracing it? And what are you up to in the garden these days? I would love to know. So drop a note below. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you soon.